welcome to Review Friday and the debut of my new backdrop, which I am unhappy with, and I will probably be changing it up pretty soon because I feel like it looks really sparse. But anyways, so if you thought that last Friday's video started out crazy, boy, let me tell you about today. Today is so insane that I need to start out with a disclaimer. Today's little opener involves fire. So please do not try this at home. I can't say that I'm a professional, but that doesn't mean that you should do what I do. I am being ridiculous and a danger to myself and my family. So I am kind of exaggerating. It's not that big of a deal, but it does involve melting plastic. So I was trying to find something kind of fun and science experimenty to do, and all of them required a lot of time and water, so I thought, water's a mess. Let's try fire. No, I actually looked up party tricks, and I came across one that I've actually seen before where people take a CD and they scratch off the printing on it and they warm it up with a flame and then they blow into it and it creates like a windsock. Like the plastic just expands and thins out and creates this really long bubble that comes out of it. Now, I am like 75% sure this is not going to happen for me because first of all, I didn't find a computer CD. I don't know where any of my old music CDs are, and I'm not going to go drag them out while my baby's napping. So I found an old DVD that I don't care for anymore. There wasn't any real instructions. I'm sure I could have found more on how to do this, but I was like, who cares? I'm just gonna wing it. So here we go. Let's see if I can get this to work. I don't even know if I know how to use this lighter. I don't know how long I'm supposed to do this. Can y'all even see what I'm doing? You probably shouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, let's try the other side for a little bit longer. Okay, it looks like it's starting to burn, so it did make a little bit of an indentation. I don't know if you guys can even see what's happening here, but my CD is definitely melting and making little bubbles. Let me try the other side. We can get it thinner than the little bubble level, and then we will try. No, I knew that wasn't gonna work, but now it does smell a little melty in here. I brought a damp towel, and I'm just gonna wrap the CD in a damp towel and throw it on the floor so we can start our video. Let me put my fire paraphernalia away and we can start. So just like my opener, this last week has been crazy for me. Not only was my son sick with the stomach bug this week, but my husband caught it too, and I have been the only healthy person in the house. And apparently it's had more of an effect on me than I thought, because Monday's video I forgot to create a custom thumbnail and I just uploaded it with nothing in the description box, no tags, nothing. So if you don't know anything about YouTube, that probably doesn't mean much to you, but if you do, you realize that that was kind of silly. Sorry, my office is actually a little smoky now. I really shouldn't have done that. My husband is going to fuss at me if he finds out I did that. I'm gonna uncover it real quick from the towel and just make sure I'm not starting a little mini plastic fire in there. I don't think that I could, but let me just check. Nah, it's already almost cooled down. See my my CD here. Anyways, I 100% do not recommend doing that. And then Tuesday's video, I just completely forgot to make it public. So I had uploaded it, and all of my videos upload as private until I schedule them to release. So apparently I never scheduled anything and thought I did. So when I was going back through for my notes for Review Friday, I'm like, where are all my videos? I feel like I should have more for the week. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. And that's when I realized that Tuesday's video never went out. So it went out on Thursday. So Monday I did the video a little bit different. Instead of using my scripture book, I used my old school Jesus Freak book. And I talked about 1 Corinthians 13 verses 5 and 7, and I believe it was the Amplified translation. And it says, love, God's love in us, takes no account of the evil done to it, pays no attention to a suffered wrong, bears up under anything and everything that comes, is ever ready to believe the best of every person, its hopes are faithless under all circumstances, and it endures everything without weakening. And then I talk about how we have that love in us to love everyone in all situations. So that was mainly Monday's video. Tuesday's video, that one actually didn't even film completely in focus. I had changed out my lens, and when I put it back, I focused too much on the glittery hearts behind me. So it's just ever so slightly out of focus, which is really frustrating for me, and I apologize for that. So Tuesday's scripture was Psalms 94:19, and it says, "When doubts fill my mind, your comfort gave me renewed hope and cheer." And I talked about how I've been choosing to not focus on the negative and choosing to be joyful, and how that's impacted how I view Proverbs 31. Whereas in the past, I saw the Proverbs 31 woman for everything that I wasn't, and I resented her because I felt like she created a standard that I couldn't measure up to. But now when I read Proverbs 31, I read it as a promise that God has given to women of everything that we can achieve through Him. And then I've shared how I've been standing on the promises in Deuteronomy 28 verses 1 through 14. Then Wednesday was the very first episode of Book Club Wednesday, and I went over the first 2 chapters of You Can, You Will by Joel Osteen. I started out the video confessing that I wasn't really as into the book as I had hoped I would be, and I went over how chapter 1 was about finding something to focus on to remind you of your vision, and how I had heard other people talk about this, and I had done this on my own without even realizing it. So it wasn't a super new, innovative idea, but then also realizing that it was something that was tried and true. So it was very good information. And he even gives an example about how God does this with Abraham in the Bible, and giving him things to see to remind him of the promise that God had given him. And then I talked about how chapter 2 was about how people can stand in the way of your dream and how to be kind to them, but not let them derail you from your dreams. And then Thursday's scripture was Timothy 6:6, and it says, "But godliness actually is a source of great gain when accompanied by contentment, that which comes from a sense of inner confidence based on the sufficiency of God." And in that video, I talk about taking a break from self-improvement and trying to fix everything that you're not, and taking time to appreciate and acknowledge everything that you are, knowing that God created you that way intentionally. So that is this week's worth of videos. Thank you so much for spending another week with me, and I will see you guys next week.